What's my computer doing? Weird. I just passed out.
Your computer just passed out?
Yes, sure, that's what I said.
I mean, hey, I don't know.
But yeah, I was catching up on some political stuff that had happened over the weekend here, and wow, just like
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how to phrase it because, like, I know your political system has two parties and then independents. So,
yeah.
So imagine if there was like, so it's like there's a district that had to go re-vote again, right?
Sure.
And one of the major parties didn't even bother because they're not going to win any seats. So they're not even putting a candidate forward for it, right?
Okay.
The current majority party that's in opposition in the federal government, they put a candidate forward. The Greens had a candidate, independents, and then a few local state based parties had candidates. And then there was the One Nation candidate, right? And basically all year One Nation has been going on about how there's going to be an orange wave this year, and it's going to.
When you say orange wave, am I understanding the connotation there? Because we have a different how should I put it? That's a nickname for somebody else here, for a specific person here.
Oh, no, I mean in terms of like, it'd be a red wave if the Republicans won all the seats, or blue wave, yeah. So like in the South Australian state election that happened 2 months ago, the One Nation Party had been saying that, it's going to be a orange wave, that, the state's going to flip orange rather than being blue or red or green or whatever. And by the end result, they had doubled the number of members in Parliament from the last term.
Okay.
Which means now they had 4 members in Parliament. Keep in mind, Labour, who won, had 36. Not quite an orange wave. And then this by-election in Nepean just happened over the weekend. And again, going on, it's going to be an orange wave, it's going to be an orange wave. The votes and everything have been counted. Liberal won. They're our blue coloured party. Don't attribute the colours akin to Republican and Democrat. It doesn't work. It really doesn't work. But the the two candidate preferred vote came down to the Liberal Party candidate and the top independent.
Okay.
So when all the votes were counted through our preferential voting system and everything, the Liberal Party member ended up winning the district, right? However, because of our preferential voting system, One Nation ended up coming fourth in the race from their initial "we're coming second" first preference. If that makes sense to you.
Not really.
Okay.
But I'll accept your word for it.
Yeah. Is it the preferential voting system?
It's just politics in general. I mean, I get being assholes to each other. I can understand that, but I disagree wholeheartedly with politics on both sides of the with both parties. And I mean, I guess that could extend pretty much to other countries, so to speak. Mainly because, I mean, listen, these people are supposed to be there for the betterment of us.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not. They're there for the most part for themselves. And I just I don't know. I don't agree with it.
Well, that's something that's come to light recently, especially from the last decade of the coalition being in government. A lot of newer, younger people are getting more knowledgeable of the bad shit that goes on in politics, and are now coming to educate themselves more on the fact that it doesn't really matter what the party lines and all that say.
Yeah, well, I guess, and that therein lies one of my issues is, here, and I don't know how it is there, but here, of course, we've got the I mean, technically three parties. You've got the Republicans, Democrats, and then you've got the kind of the non-party party. And you've got some other smaller ones that make attempts every now and again. But what I disagree with is somebody towing the party line just because they are of that party, even if it directly impacts negatively your own party, your own party members. I don't know, man. There's just something inherently stupid about politics.
And I can understand that. What I was getting at was that a lot of the younger people are now understanding the inherent problem that too many politicians have been politicians for life. They started as secretaries for politicians in parliament, etc., etc. So we're now seeing a lot of people who are getting involved in politics who come from the quote unquote the working sectors of people who are joining Labour because they've been tradies, they've been working people, right? Or people who are joining Liberal because they've actually been like business executives and things like that, and they're like, you people are meant to be like, Liberal is meant to be the party for businesses and the economy and shit like that, and they spent a decade trashing the economy.
Sure.
Labour is meant to be the party of the working class, and they have put forward really bad choices in the small span before this current government. They put forward really terrible policies, really good policies that they then caved to get through Parliament to have amendments done to them.
Sure.
So, like, one thing I was talking with Sachs last week was the NDIS, the National Disability Insurance Scheme, right? It was meant to be a government-based system that directly helped people with disabilities. As the scheme was originally written, back in 2012, Labour could have gotten it through the Senate based purely on making agreements in the lower house with the Greens there for some environmental stuff, right? But instead, they decided that they would make concessions to the NDIS with the Liberal Party, with the coalition, which turned the NDIS into the government is helping you directly, into the government is going to give money to private companies to help you.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's some serious bullshit.
Yeah, and that's a lot of what younger people who have been growing up through that decade and whatnot have been going. Yeah, no, this doesn't work for us anymore. And the more like groups like One Nation sprout their racist bullshit, it's like, yeah, you're getting traction. You like doubled your seating from last time, but you didn't take away the votes from Labour to do it. You literally took Liberal votes because people were protesting against the Liberal Party.
Yeah.
Mainly because the Liberal Party in South Australia, this past election, the Liberal Party of South Australia has a really bad history. The last Liberal state premier, may have embezzled millions.
May
have. I technically, we can't say for certain that happened, but money is still missing. Projects cost a lot of money and then didn't happen, and the money wasn't returned. And then his successor, after he lost and Labour came into power, his successor may have been ousted for being a coke fiend, and I don't mean the drink.
Wow, nice.
And then after him, they elected a leader who was so unremarkable that no one in South Australia knew his name for 2 years until the election was coming up. And then they got rid of him for better optics. And then they lost because no one knew what her politics were, because they changed the leader at the last minute.
That's okay.
Yeah, it fucking crapshoot, I tell you. But yeah, things like this, things like the current gas tax that's
Yeah.
going across Australia. It's all just like younger generations are just like, we don't like this anymore. We're going to educate ourselves so that when our elections come up, we know how we're going to be voting. Because there are some good people in Parliament, be it state or federal Parliament.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. And we've got the same here. I mean, there's people in both parties that are you know that they're there for the betterment of everybody. And I think that's what bothers me is, that some people are just so bullheaded that they can't they can't be there for anybody else. It just there's just something about their psyche that just doesn't let them.
Yeah.
And I don't get it.
And so, yeah, like a lot of what we're currently seeing is, people are looking into going to like the online websites from independent government agencies who are like, here is the records that we keep of how these members vote. Do you approve of that? Well, when the next election comes up, you can decide to keep them in or you can vote against them. So people are becoming more voting savvy. And so it's leading to a lot of interesting turnouts. So, yeah. But yeah, it's just this weekend has been amusing. And then there's another state election towards the end of the year. There's another by-election next month or 2 months away or something like that. Yeah, it's getting quite insane, and it's kind of hilarious how everything's turning out. So I've been watching that. I also watched the Mortuary Assistant movie.
Oh, is it out now?
Yes. Well, it's on Shudder.
Yeah, on Shudder. Yeah, I knew it was there. I just didn't realize that it was actually, I guess, released.
It's shit.
But you kind of expect it to be, right? Or is or do you mean like it's shit because it's just that bad?
Okay, so I've been watching some reviews online for it after I finished watching the movie. And a lot of the reviewers were like, I haven't played the game, but here's my takeaway from the movie. I feel like these elements, these aspects, blah, 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 were in the movie because they were trying to replicate the game. And the entire comment section, including my own comment, on these reviews was like, no, that's not the game at all. I don't know what this director fuckhead was thinking, but the fuck.
So what? So the movie was not the game?
So the movie has these things in common with the game.
You're an actual mortuary's assistant.
It has the main character.
Yeah.
It has the mortuary owner. It has the entity. And at the beginning, it has doing an embalming.
Okay. And that's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I mean, there is the whole, she goes through the whole possession phase thing, but they don't. Okay, in the game, you spend up until the very end moment wondering, because of the way that they portray things, the way that they have the character respond to things.
Yeah.
You don't know whether she's just having a mental breakdown because of like the trauma that is being instigated by it,
Right.
or if there's something demonic going on. Because
Okay.
like the opening cutscene with her grandma talks about how, like, you know, the grandma doesn't want to see her go down the same path as her mother who had this mental breakdown. So it's already laid there that this could have been all just
In her mind.
psychosis. Yeah.
Yeah. I got you.
But the film just is like, oh, nah, let's take that, strangle it, bash its head in, and then just make the demonic possession front and center the whole way. Like,
Gotcha.
the game keeps the entity at the peripheral of your screen, so that
Okay.
you, even like, though you can see it there until you move to look at it and it disappears, you're not even sure it's there.
Okay.
And because they will do that thing where they will put the entity in shadow, like in
Sure.
the shadowed area,
Yeah.
you're not even sure half the time that if I walk closer, is that going to still be there or is it going to disappear? And you move closer and it just disappears. Oh, maybe I was just seeing something. And then you go investigate and you can be like, oh, that could have just been that reflection. Look at that. I was probably just imagining that. It probably just looked like that. If I come back, it probably is right there again. Oh, look, it's kind of right there again. Kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
But the movie went more the Conjuring route. There wasn't any subtlety. It was just demons. And it's just like, this is stupid.
Gotcha.
And like, they kept doing very tight close-ups of things, which changed the atmospheric horror that the game had to very claustrophobic horror. And
Okay.
Grim and I, a lot of the comments on those reviews for the movie, it seems like no one understood why they did that.
Were they trying to replicate anything from the game?
No. I mean, during the autopsies, it can be quite close in like that. Embalming process and processing the bodies, it can be like that when you're looking closely at them. But otherwise, like, that's not happening during like the demonic attacks or the hallucinations or things like that.
I gotcha.
It's just while you're trying to, like, you know, wire the jaw shut, or like, you know, you're putting the embalming fluid through the body, or, you know, things like that. It's never like when the demon jumps at you, that's always very open because it's meant to be atmospheric, because it then disappears. And it's like, oh, is she going crazy, or was that there, or, yeah, you know?
Right.
And yeah, it's just every wrong decision was made. But I will say, probably better than all the Conjuring movies, so... yeah.
I don't know. I kind of enjoyed the Conjuring movies. I mean, they were fun. It's one of those are the kind of movies where you can just go watch, turn your brain off, and eat popcorn. And I like that. I mean, there's a need for that kind of movie out there from time to time.
Yeah. I mean, that's what things like the Stargate movie, the original one, Independence Day, things like that. That's what those are.
Yeah,
for me,
yeah,
so,
yeah.
yeah. Like, you don't have to think too hard. You can just chill out and watch whatever the fuck that is going on.
Yeah.
Or the Brendan Fraser Mummy movie. That was a good one. Highly entertaining.
So speaking of that, have you seen the previews for this new Mummy movie?
Oh, the Blumhouse one.
Yeah.
I have heard things about it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I've probably heard the same things that you have. It's evidently it's in the Evil Dead universe. Has nothing to do with the Brendan Fraser movie, Mummy movie.
Yes, I've also heard that it's more demonic than it is mummification,
Yes.
mummy style, and
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you could thoroughly rebrand the horror into
yeah.
another monster
Right.
movie and it would be just the same. Yeah, that was highly disappointing. But then again, I was kind of annoyed at their version of the Invisible Man, and was it the Wolfman? Was there other one that they've done as well?
Oh yeah, yeah. There's been a couple.
Yeah, like I liked the idea of their Invisible Man, like for the most part, how it was kind of setting up. Oh, maybe she's just going crazy. Maybe she's just losing her mind, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then it got into the whole invisibility suit and yeah. That kind of annoyed me.
Yeah, I get that.
I mean, a new angle for a new age, that part didn't annoy me, but it was kind of how it then just went into a kind of, okay, well, now this is just a slasher movie, but a guy's got an invisible suit. What? I've seen better slasher movies at this
Right.
point. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, Cybermind just mentioned that there's a rumor that they'll be making a fourth entry in the Mummy franchise from Brendan Fraser's one.
I have heard that too. I mean, fine. I'll watch it.
I think I watched the third one, but I think I've only seen it like once. I cannot remember it at all.
Yeah.
If I can find it, I would have to watch it again.
Yeah, there's a few different movies in that. I mean, we've got, wasn't there the Scorpion King?
Yeah, that was the second one. Or do you mean the standalone one?
That was the standalone.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And I think there were a couple of those, weren't there?
Yes. The Rock only did the first one, though.
Oh. I thought he did the second one too. It's been so long since I've seen them. I'm likely very very much misremembering them.
Yeah. Ah, okay. Oh, there's a few. Oh, I did not know there was a few.
Yeah.
Production. Scorpion King film series.
Which I always thought it was weird because they wanted him in there as the Scorpion King, who was a bad guy, but when he did his dedicated movie, I mean, he was a good guy.
Yes.
Of course, I guess it was kind of the story of how he descended into evil, I suppose.
Okay, so the second Scorpion King movie is a prequel to the first one. And no, it does not star The Rock. Michael Copon plays the Scorpion King, or young Scorpion King. Then there's the Scorpion King 3, 4, Scorpion King, The Book of Souls. And then apparently there was going to be a sixth one, but it doesn't look like that happened. And it doesn't look like The Rock came back for any of them. And somehow they look less and less Egyptian-y. In fact, Scorpion King 3 looks more Greco-Roman than Egyptian. Oh, that's a very white cast. Victor Webster in that one. Oh, I take it back. 4 got even whiter somehow. I should stop saying I take it back, because I take it back again, because Book of Souls looks even whiter than the first.
And Brandon Fraser was not in some of those, right?
He wasn't in any of them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's... Oh. I'm not... Is that racist? I'm not sure if that's racist.
Okay.
Okay, so the Scorpion King Book of Souls has a lot of white actors, but they're South African white actors. And I'm not sure if that makes it worse or not.
Well, I mean, God Bless.
Yeah, this is. Oh man. Well, yeah, I've never seen any of these other ones, so yeah. Oh boy. Anyway, that was quite the trip. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I regret everything. Yes, Cybermind. Young Arnold Vosloo is shirtless is always a wonderful treat.
Wait, who?
Arnold Vosloo. He played Imhotep in the Brendan Fraser Mummy movies.
I see.
Yeah. Cybermind was just saying that the young, well, for that time period, Arnold Vosloo was a nice, wonderful treat, or nice bonus. And yes, he was quite entertaining. Oh dear. But yeah. Yeah, so I'll put up these pictures of the inside of my ship.
Yeah, I saw that. Or actually, no. Did I see what you? No, you showed me the.
I mean, I can always just put them into the group chat on Discord, so no biggie.
Well, did I? Now I'm starting to question if I saw them or not. Oh, you posted them on your channel as a post.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, that's where I saw them. Okay.
Yeah.
Posts. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. So how does that work? Like I'm looking through them right now. How does that work? Do you have like slotted templates that the rooms like kind of slide into? I don't know if that makes sense. What I'm asking.
Yeah. Okay. So, there's a few design specifics that the game has at the moment, right? I wouldn't take these as being this is the only way the game will
Sure.
have these,
Sure.
just because, like, if you look at how Hello Games has evolved the game as a whole over the last decade, you can see, like, we went from these kind of blocky, like, walls and build plots and things like that to
Right.
having like full rounded, long curved archways and things like that, hallways and stuff that you can make out of like building bases on a planet. So at the moment, because the Corvettes is really only about 2 years old at this point, and yeah, I wouldn't say that, oh, this is the way it's just going to be from now on. But anyway, so at the moment, it's a bit like so basically they come in like, say, a 4x4 block hab, and you can basically, so you've got square ones and you've got rectangle ones, and with those is you can put up or you can put inside any of the pre-designed modules that can be put inside your ship. So, for example, one of the ones, the big orange cylinders on the walls, that's in the underdeck entry on the sides of the entryway of my ship, and those are cargo holds, cargo containers. So they're all storage boxes, basically. So I can literally carry around my entire base supplies with me wherever I go now, which helpful.
Yeah, I get that.
But yeah, there's a lot of that kind of design to how you build Corvettes. And yes, to your Nostromo question, I do believe that there has been several Nostromos already built in No Man's Sky. The only thing is that currently Corvettes only have cockpit modules, no bridge modules yet. So you'd have to decide on one of the three cockpit types to go with for the time being until they integrate bridge designs into the but yeah yeah there's built a there's a bunch of them of varying quality, I would say.
What's the largest ship that you have ever come across?
Of the Corvettes that you can build?
Of any ship that's in the game?
That would probably be the... Well, it depends if you count the Anomaly or not, because it's kind of a flying space station. But otherwise, it would probably be the Pirate Dreadnought is probably the largest at the moment. And that's if you're not counting the giant space whale creatures in the game. Or the giant skeletons that you can find in some systems.
Wow.
Alluding to planet-eating sized creatures that may have existed at some point.
And you haven't run across any of those yet?
No. Well, not in my current playthrough. In, I think, my third playthrough, I found... I think that's the one I found most of my discoveries that I've got most of my achievements for. But yeah, that's the one I found, like a giant space skeleton. I found what I thought was the Anomaly hanging out in the system until I realized that it's...
it was just a rock.
No, it seems to be a prior iteration of the Anomaly that's now a dead space station.
Sure, it wasn't just a moon?
Hate you. Hate everything you stand for. Dear. Anyway. So yeah, there are quite huge
thank you.
Stations in the game. So yes, you can come across quite large space objects. Not quite as large as your ego, but still. Dear. I could have sworn there used to be a blueprint of the Nostromo out there. Maybe deck plans. Oh yeah, there it is. That's what I was thinking of. Oh yeah, the Nostromo would be easy to design. Yeah, you could absolutely build the Nostromo. Although potentially not to that scale. Although I think that one's more a bit exaggerated, but
Has anybody tried to build a Death Star?
yes, but they can only build the Death Star too, because otherwise you exceed the count limit for building a Corvette. However, through the base building and a cheaty little system where you can pop up things high above you, people have built the Death Star from base parts. So it doesn't float, it just kind of orbits the planet it's built around. But yeah, they have built the Death Star, and it's, oh boy. Hold on.
In relation to your ship, how big is the Death Star?
I mean, the one that I'm familiar with, it's almost 1-to-1.
So, okay. So, like, could your ship park inside of it?
Yes. Yes, it is that fucking
Gravy.
huge. Like, it's almost a 1-to-1 scale Death Star with the entire equatorial ring being hangars and landing pads for ships to come dock at.
So, how expensive is something like that to build in the game?
Well, you're probably going to mine a planet to death, but it would be, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, basically it's Star Wars economic physics. Like, you're probably going to strip mine an entire planet, but the end result is you're going to have a giant space station. And then if you get creative because you're an evil person, you'll create a Corvette that sits in the middle of the Death Star dish to act as its giant laser, which is what they did. Because of course it is.
Gotcha.
And the best part about it, the phase beams are actually green, so it actually looks like bzzz. Oh dear. But yeah, I'm not associated with any guilds or anything, so I'm not tempting fate with that one.
I gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, it's quite impressive, the fan community's exploration of what they can do. But yeah, Corvettes are like, up to about 3 times the size of the Millennium Falcon. That's about their max size. So, like, yeah, there are plenty of people who have built like Millennium Falcons and the Serenity from Firefly. Yeah, ships like
Sure.
that. So,
I gotcha.
yeah. There have been people who have built the Normandy, but considering it was also a frigate that you could acquire for exploration, for expeditions as well, it kind of defeats the purpose of creating a Corvette when you've got the actual frigate.
Makes sense.
But yeah, otherwise, yeah, it's been pretty cool. Oh, that's a new one. Oh, compact, but still pretty awesome.
What about lightsabers?
No, but we do have staffs that shoot out death rays.
Okay.
So more gold staff weapon style.
I gotcha.
Yeah. And just like a metric ton of like guns and rifles and shit too. So pretty sure there's one that looks like the alien one.
It certainly sounds okay. So okay. So tell me a bit about like the creatures. I mean, are monsters, that kind of stuff.
Yep. Life forms.
Life forms, yeah.
So for the most part, they are still procedurally generated. However, there's code designing creature design based on the world's environmental biomes. So, for example, you're not going to get, say, trying to think of a good example. You're not going to get something like mammalian, like, you know, a lot of like, you know, monkeys or things like that on a planet that is predominantly volcanoes and oceans, and it's tearing itself apart with firestorms. Because, you know, furry fuzzballs aren't going to survive in that type of thing. So
Sure.
in that kind of thing, there's a lot of flying lizard-like creatures, or there's a lot of deep-sea aquatic creatures. So yeah. It's not quite as chaotic as the older builds of the game. Oh, and now you can Pokemon them all, so gotta catch them all.
Right.
But yeah, with a lot of the creatures, like you can, with the exception of the, I can't remember if they're called gigantic or colossal worms.
Do they have spice? Like, do they poop spice?
Why don't you find out?
So that's what I'm curious about. Like, how many subtle pop references are there to other sci-fi stuff in there, like Dune? You know, worms with the spice and all that. Dune. You know, are there xenomorph type creatures in there, face huggers or aliens?
Yes, they're called Oh, they're the void types. Oh, fuck, what are they called? It's not like Unbound Horrors, and they're basically a cross between xenomorphs and the xenoraptors from the original Riddick movie. What's it called?
Yeah, that movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I want to say Pulp Fiction, but that's not it. Pitch Black.
Pitch Black. Yes. Yeah, because like they've got like the acid splash blood. They've got like the very big leaping ability and all that, but their head design and like the tail type raptor, scorpion raptor thing that the Pitch Black aliens had is what these ones have. And also, once they get into the light, they change from black to green, like in a kind of phosphorus kind of way, which looks really, really cool. But yeah, they are things, and you can also Pokemon them too if you're really.
Is there a limit to how many Pokemon things you can have?
I think it's like 20 or 30, something like that.
Could you conceivably Pokemon 20 xenomorphs and then drop them on someone else's ship?
I get where you're going, but one, you won't be able to have multiples up at a time once you capture them, which sucks. And two, you generally can't release them on other people's ships or other people's bases and things like that. Only two minor drawbacks to that idea. But otherwise, love the plan. Absolutely love it.
That's a damn shame. That's all I can say about that.
But yeah, no, I agree. There's some missed opportunities going on. Yes. Ah, dear.
I almost forgot. There's one all-important question that I have to ask.
Yes.
Are there zombies? And if so, can you Pokeball them?
There's sort of zombies. No, you can't Pokeball them because they're not classified as native life forms. Because they're technically categorized as NPCs, so you can't Pokeball them.
Gotcha.
At least yet. But hey, who knows what the future holds?
Sure. Well, I get that. And is it a subscription based game?
I don't
it
do subscription based games.
Okay.
I never have. So no. I bought the game for $20 Australian, and that's all I've ever paid. And all of this has been free updates to the game.
Wow.
Yes. And that also answers your question there too, Cybermind. I apologize, I wasn't looking at chat because I was looking up things on my other screen.
Oh yeah, I don't have I haven't been looking at the chat at all.
Oh, and as to what's the point of Pokeballing? Well, you can use them in competitions to level them up and fight against NPCs or other players. They don't really serve as base inhabitants, but if they are large enough, they can be mounts, and yes, they always act as pets. So you can pop out one of your Pokeball creatures at any time that you want as your pet traveling around with you. So, yeah. Which is fun.
Yep.
My current favorite one that I have is one from an expedition, and it's a flying/floating translucent blue jellyfish.
Okay.
And it's so much fun. Define aliens. Or if you want one as a pet, yes, you've just got to find a planet with a biome that has produced a feline type. They do exist. But you'd probably be looking... Actually, it's quite variable, so I'm not even going to tackle that one. Not even sure where you'd look specifically. But yes, you four-legged, fast-running predator creatures. As in predator prey, not predator as in...
Right.
I mean, we're talking about aliens, so or xenomorphs. So I figured I should probably specify that. Carnivore and herbivore. There's a better use of language. Yeah, there's. You should eventually, if you keep exploring every world that you find, you should be able to find a world that has a feline-esque carnivore on it. And who knows, it might even be big enough that you can ride it like Battle Cat.
Oh.
You know, just extra bit of fun because of He-Man.
What was it? Is there a Thundercats movie in the works right now?
Thundercats? I don't know, but there is a Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, I knew there was a Masters of the Universe. Have I ever shared with you my theory on Thundercats?
No.
I theorize that they're all evil, that they're bad, that they are actually the bad guys, and that Mumra was good.
Is it because they're cats?
No.
Oh.
No, I love cats. No, my theory is because I theorize this because Mumra, he that's his planet. He lives on that planet. And these outsiders just dropped down and started taking over everything. Built a house on property that wasn't theirs. Bad neighbors. Bad guys. I mean, think about it.
See, I would, but my mind is going to go to a different place, and that's not good for me. So, I mean, technically, if you think about it, it's not good for you either. But I mean, you know, we're both kind of the descendants of people who put down houses on land that wasn't theirs.
Yeah, so. Bad guys.
Yeah, so the procedural generation has improved. It's been that way for at least the last 3 years. It was definitely improved before the Voyages update when Corvettes were released. So yeah, as I was saying before, the creature generation for planets now takes into factors like what the biome of the planets actually are to create creatures. So you get creatures that make more sense on the planets that they're on and things like that. So yeah. And looking at what the planet's descriptor is before landing on it also gives keys as key indication as to what kind of life forms and stuff you'll find down there. Like a mechanical planet is going to have mechanical creatures down there.
Sure.
Primordial planet, you'll find more dinosaur-like creatures down there. Planets more leaning towards a paradise planet will have more mammalian-like creatures down there. So yeah, dead planets will have nothing down there because they're dead planets, including oxygen. No oxygen.
Hey, I got to run.
Yep.
I just got notes that stuff is happening.
Yep, that's okay.
Oh,
I need to have an early night tonight anyway, so that's a good. All right.
All right. Well, enjoy, everybody.